In this video, I will demonstrate how to use the business dashboard to create ordering reports. The business dashboard effectively lays out all the relevant info you need about your sales and gives you the opportunity to view trends with your sales in many valuable ways. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do first is select Business Dashboard, which is this green button at the bottom of the screen. And now this new screen will open up. As you'll see here, the top of the screen has all of the filters. I can select a filter or type something into any of these areas and then select Apply Filter, this blue button, and the result of that filter will be reflected in the table below. Also, if you take a look at these light gray triangles, I can select these arrows and I can use these to sort based on preference, lowest to greatest or highest to lowest, vice versa. If I had more items and I pressed next, it would show me the rest of this table. Now, I can select export results, this green button, and this pop-up will show up and I can save the Excel spreadsheet to my desktop and then open it from my desktop to work in Excel. So here it is, customer filtered spreadsheet, and I just opened it. Let me just change the view here to make it easier to see. There we go. So this is the data that I downloaded from LiveSell. Okay, so here is my spreadsheet in Excel. The first thing to do is to select Data. It's next to Formulas on the Home tab up there. Select Data. You may have heard of something called a pivot table. Pivot tables allow you to reorganize, select columns of data in a spreadsheet to look at a specific report without actually changing any of the data. So I'm in the Data tab and I want to find this little button that says Pivot Table, and then I want to select Create Automatic Pivot Table. Now, if you feel like you want to learn more about pivot tables and how they can be useful, you can click this link right here, Learn More About Pivot Tables, and then you'll be able to read up on what exactly they do and become more familiar with this concept. So I have the pivot table here, and for example, if I want to see for a certain quantity what was the amount of products sold, what I'd have to do is play with the filters here. So I'm going to uncheck subtotal. Instead, I'm going to put in product name into the column label filter. I'm going to uncheck order ID, put customer name here. Date ordered, I'll also put in the report filter. And then you might be familiar with this, but in Excel, if I highlight a table of data and then I select charts, I can have this reflected in an actual column chart or a paragraph or a bar graph, whatever you prefer, but I'll just show a column chart as an example, like this. There are so many options with this kind of analysis with pivot tables. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you aren't that familiar with Excel, within Excel, like I showed a couple minutes back in this video, there's that link that you can click on to read up on pivot tables. Could be super helpful for you. Highly recommend doing that. And of course, once again, please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions.